have the honors of meeting with the frenetic 56-time award winner and 73-time nominated Robin Williams. How are you today, Mr. Williams?
Good morning, Vietnam. And drop the Mr. Williams act. It's just Robin. I'm fine and dandy, dearie.
Let's begin with the basics. You got your big break from starring in the TV film Mork and Mindy, this spin-off of an episode of Happy Days. How do you suppose you got the part, and how were you doing at the time?
Well, obviously I got the part due to my eccentric, ebullient characteristics. Duh. Well, doing this show, as you said, was my big break. I finally got to go home and tell my dad that I wasn't going to need that backup job as a welder. Okay. I was making a lot of money, and while doing that, I became a druggie. To the good old snow. I mean, cocaine is God's way of telling you that you're making too much money, especially if you throw alcohol into the mix, as I did.
So you became addicted to drugs and alcohol while starring in Mork and Mindy?
Yes, ma'am, I did. And as a result, I was hooked for a little more than 2 decades.
Wow. Eventually, after those 2 long decades of addiction, you got clean but relapsed after 20 years sober. How did you get clean the second time?
I started rehab. Well, I went to rehab in wine country just to keep my options open. And also, I wanted to get clean because one of my old pals overdosed. That shook me up quite a bit.
After rehab, did you face any other personal issues?
Yes, actually I did. I became seriously depressed.
Do you have any idea as to why this came about?
Well, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease along with Lewy body disease a little while after.
Wow, why is it that hardly, if anyone, knew about this diagnosis?
I'm a very public person. Everyone knew about my addictions. It seemed as if the whole world knows every little detail about my life. I guess I'm getting at this. I wanted to be able to keep some things private between myself and my family. I wanted my fans to remember me as who I really am, not the sick me. If they knew I was sick, they'd see me differently.
They say that when you first began to face these new personal challenges of your diagnosis and of being clinically depressed, you fell off the wagon yet another time. Going back to alcohol, what were your thoughts going in your mind at this time?
When I was drinking, there was this only one time, even for a moment, when I thought, screw life. And then my conscience went like, did you honestly just say screw life? Well, then it went on to say, you have a pretty good life as of right now. And it also began asking me all these questions, trying to remind me of all the things I had, such as houses, the girl, and a good spot in life. Then I saw that I was drunk, and that was influencing my decision on the inside. About, suicide, no big deal.
I'm glad you feel comfortable sharing that information with me. Thank you. When you were having that conversation to yourself, what exactly was going through your mind?
Well, I was reasoning with myself about suicide, and I was unknowingly trying to talk myself out of it. I even told myself that I didn't even have the guts to do it.
Hardly anyone knew you were depressed. You went on stand-up comedy tours as if nothing was wrong. How did you manage to do that?
I wanted to leave behind a legacy of joy and happiness that I offered to others, especially those who were also facing their own personal problems, as I was. I guess, in a sense, I figured if I helped them, it would help myself.
That is very selfless of you, Robin. That is all I have for you today. Thank you for your time and your open, honest responses. It is truly greatly appreciated.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. This is Robin Williams, signing off.